Eat Your O.A.T.s version 2. Good morning, coaches. Today I'm going to talk through a basic structure, 5v5+3 or 4v4+3, that you can use for a variety of both attacking and defensive principles. The structure that I'm going to kind of talk through, I'm going to kind of give the basics, and I'm going to talk through how I use this or would use this for attacking principles, specifically providing advancing the ball and providing options to move forward. So basic setup, you have your grid, you have your two goals, and with this, especially with the 5v5+3, I might use a 60x30, and I'm going to have my 5 in red, goalkeeper defending this goal, attacking north. Meanwhile, I have green defending this goal, and we notice that the ball is going to start in this half, and we of course have our additional 3 neutral players. So with this kind of variation, you have your halfway line, the ability to transition, the ability to attack, defend, as well as maintain the viability of an area in which we're defending, an area in which we're attacking, is always going to be present. And with this overload structure, you have your 3 bumper or neutral players to support. You can use this for a lot of different kinds of principles, objectives for all 4 phases of the game. And so how I use this for advancing the ball, providing options forward with various sub-principles, vertical diagonal options, overload wide, runs in behind and move or lose opponent. For the specific game situation I would start with would be one in which we have a goal kick, goalkeeper has the ball, and we are trying to advance the ball across the halfway line. Our halfway line at this juncture is really going to be used as kind of that offside line, so defense has to be in the attacking half, and all players present have to be in, the team in red has to be in their defensive half. So ball's going to start out, and what we're really looking for, especially with this iteration, is focusing on that wide outside player. So ball's going to be played in. Our defensive team is set up with, ostensibly, 3 attackers and a 10. You have that front look of a 4-3-3. Ball's going to be played wide. Can this central defender, can they commit this outside player from which they can pass out wide? And at this juncture, we can kind of reinforce some various coaching points. Where's the green space in front of us? How can we create overloads? What kind of options do we have in behind? If this player now is free, they can dribble past and they can make their way all the way across halfway line, at which point, the entire group can now transfer. We have this offside line. On the other hand, if this player has snuck over to kind of overload this side or to prevent an overload, this player now has a couple of options. Now that they're being pressed, they can commit the defender. This player makes that obvious diagonal option to play through, and now we can bounce it back wide and we can get across. With this, I like to kind of tweak it so we're not looking for the exact same solution over and over. So rather than this defending unit being placed into a 4-3-3, I might have them move towards kind of like a box. And so when this player gets it, again, committing this defender, playing the ball out wide. Now we have a couple of options. If this player makes this run in behind, move, lose your opponent to run in behind, obvious players, the situation might not be there. Now what options do we have? Now we have this bounce diagonal from which we can then again play that give and go. Or if the entire group has committed across, we can ask for that switch of play, where's the space, opposite side, or we can just have a little dink in behind to allow those runs or whichever runner is still onside to receive the ball and move forward. So really nice basic setup that you can use. You're especially in this iteration focusing on attack with that overload. Lots of different game situations you can focus on and different objectives from all 4 phases of the game and different ways you can structure it so you can have different sub-principles being facilitated in that game situation. Eat Your O.A.T.s over, around, through, version 2. Cheers.